Oh, it's thunder and lightning and a possible tornado outside? Let's grab a jug of sweet tea and go out to the porch. Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Ken and I'm on a journey to lose as much weight as I possibly can so I can become a fat guy no more. So week 26, there was a lot going on in week 26. So that Friday, I took a shot of 10 milligrams since I was able to finally find it again. I took it probably about 4:30 Friday evening. The next morning, I woke up fairly sick. Not really bad, but bad enough that I didn't feel like getting out of bed most of the day. I was literally hardly out of bed at all that day. I took a couple Zofran, twice actually, about 5 hours apart. It helped, but I was kind of dizzy, just blah all day long. And I really think it was that shot. I think it was going back up in dosage. I got my water in, got my proteins in and everything. And I really believe it was going up that shot because the next day I was fine, absolutely fine. So that Sunday was an interesting one. We had been given quite a bit of warning that we could have some pretty nasty weather that day. You never know when it comes to weather, especially down here in the South, when it comes to severe weather. I understand why people totally look at severe weather warnings and just go, meh, whatever. When I was younger and we would come down here on vacation to visit family, we would be the kind that would be like, oh, it's thunder and lightning and a possible tornado outside. Let's grab a jug of sweet tea and go out to the porch. I'm too old for that stuff now. I did, however, set up a couple cameras pointed outward. One of them was my GoPro that I actually stuck to the bedroom window overlooking the backyard. Just in case. So as that day progressed, the winds started picking up. They were howling pretty good. It never really got in our area above about gusts of 38 miles an hour according to my weather station outside. But all around us, and especially south of us, they were pushing 100, and even in western parts of Oklahoma, there was one measured at 114 miles an hour out of that storm. So as I do, whenever we got a storm headed our way, I track it on Radar Omega because, I'm a geek. I love following weather occurrences like this. My ultimate vacation would be to do a storm chase. Not like I would have years ago. Now I'm going to have to be quite a ways from it since I can't move that fast. But I would love to be able to go out into the plains of Kansas and see a tornado from a distance that I could zoom in with my camera. Nothing that does any major damage, just to be able to see it. I follow a lot of storm chasers on YouTube, watch a lot of their video, and just absolutely amazed. So I was following this storm, and as it got near to us, it's really kind of an interesting phenomenon. Maybe we're just completely lucky here, maybe. But the way it goes a lot of times is as storms come into our area, they seem to split. So some of them will go north, some of them will dive south, and we'll be, right in the middle here. And we've been fine. And so as I was watching this one, it really looked to me like it was going to split. Again, it was starting to weaken towards the middle. And the southern portion of that storm was really seeming to intensify. So the closer it got, the more I was sure that we were going to be fine. And a matter of fact, that evening, I had texted a couple friends that always ask me how the weather is, what's going on. I told them, I really think that we're going to be good. I think this storm's going to split. It's going to go north, and especially to the south of us, like the south end of the metro of Oklahoma City, would get hit. But us up in the north end, we would be fine. And that's exactly what happened. However, just moments after I sent those texts, we got one of these. Yeah, a tornado warning. So that's our first. And then the sirens went off. And once those sirens went off, let me tell you, that'll get your blood pumping. So with the GoPro hooked up outside, this is what it was like the moment the sirens went off. So my wife and I had already talked, as we had many times before, since we don't have a storm shelter, no cellar, no nothing. Our best option is to get to the centermost room of our house that doesn't have any windows. That happens to be our laundry room. So we headed into there with the dogs and proceeded to watch the live coverage as we could hear the tornado sirens going off outside. She was watching a local channel. I was watching Ryan Hall, y'all, on YouTube. And I still felt that we were going to be fine. And then the second set of tornado sirens went off. It had been silent for a while, and then they picked right back up again. And the reason for that is we were actually in the path of two different tornadoes. So right where they crossed, let me show you this picture. You can see the blue dot there. That is us. And so we were right in the path of two different ones, potentially. Now, I didn't know if anything was on the ground. I didn't know what was really going on out there. I just knew outside my house, it was a little windy. I could hear our garage door banging a little bit, but nothing that I would normally have been worried about. And then we got this warning. Yeah, this one specifically tells us there's a tornado on the ground, but it doesn't say where it's at. So that's a problem too with these warnings. It's like, okay, let's scare the holy Moses out of everybody, but don't tell them where this stuff is. So eventually, about 20 minutes later, we got the all clear, and I came out and I walked out front of the house. The ground was dry. We hadn't even gotten a drop of rain. There was a little bit of a breeze, nothing even close to normal for Oklahoma. And it felt like any normal night in my neighborhood. So it was kind of weird because I know doggone good and well it was a little different than the ones we've experienced in the last little over a year since we've been here. Again, if y'all are from an area that has to deal with this, you're probably thinking, what a wuss. Well, I've spent a lot of time in the state of Oklahoma. Most of my life has been in Washington. We have nothing like this. So, you know, it's all fun and games when they go off when you're sitting in your car at a Walmart on a sunny Saturday afternoon. But on a potentially stormy Sunday evening, when you know there could be tornadic activity in the area, it gets your heart pumping. That Wednesday, the wife and I went and took in our third Oklahoma City Thunder game of the season. This time we were hoping to get to see LeBron James because the Lakers were in town. Unfortunately, he had hurt his foot and he wasn't playing, but it was still fun just to get to see the Lakers. Again, I haven't really been an NBA fan most of my life, especially since the Sonics got stolen. I'm still a little butthurt about that, honestly. But with that said, as I mentioned before, that just makes it even more ironic that I'm going to see the team that was once the Sonics. But we have fun. We always love going down to Paycom and seeing the Thunder, so we hope to do it a lot more next season. All right, so let's take a look at the numbers. So this week, my calorie count came in at 1,111. My protein was 121 grams a day on average. My fiber was 40 grams a day. My sodium was back down where I like it at 1,025 milligrams a day. And my potassium came in at 3,361 milligrams per day. So what did that do for me on the scale? Well, on the scale, I went down 6 pounds. That's the biggest loss I've had in a while. Why? Why did it drop 6 though? That's a very good question. There's a few things in play potentially. The previous week I did up my calories. If you remember my last video, I was at 1,500. I mean, it could have shocked my system. I mean, it is possible. But my gut feeling, honestly, is that it was because I went back to 10 milligrams. I did so well on the 10 milligram shots that I really think that's what it was, honestly. Either way, I don't really care what it was. I'm just grateful that I'm down 6. So that puts me at a total loss of 124 pounds with Mounjaro and a grand total of 159 pounds overall. So yeah, this was an interesting week from get-go. Finally getting to take another shot at 10, to being sick on Saturday, to the not one, but 2 tornado warnings on Sunday, great basketball game on Wednesday, dropping 6 pounds. I mean, it was a great week. And that, of course, brings me to the 6-month mark. So I've now been on Mounjaro for 6 months, and I've lost a grand total of 124 pounds in that time, which means that I've averaged over those 26 weeks 4.76 pounds per week. Can't argue with that. Even with the slowdowns, even with the weeks of just 1 and 0, honestly, none. I mean, how many times have I thrown a goose egg? A few times. 4.76 pounds a week average over a 26-week period is nothing to complain about, that's for sure. That also puts me at having lost 22% of my starting weight with Mounjaro. So I'm really curious how much more I'll be able to go. I know when my doctor first started talking to me about Mounjaro, she said that most people on average lose 23%. And according to, was it the Surmount study? The trials there, I believe they said that was in a 72-week period. So I'm not even at 27 weeks, just now hit 26, let alone 72. So I'm really curious how far I can ride this thing. But, you know, we'll have to see. So here is a message to my future self, my 26 weeks from today self. How'd you do? I'm really curious. So I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that you, future Ken, 26 weeks from now, is a happy man. I know what I need to do to make that happen, and I promise you, I'm going to do it. So hey, thanks for stopping by. I always appreciate it. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to follow me on my journey to become a fat guy no more, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video.